Imagine walking into a room where every eye judges you before you speak, where your achievements mean nothing, where your humanity is questioned with a single glance. Now imagine you're the greatest pound-for-pound fighter alive, and you can't even buy dinner. Detroit, Michigan, March 15, 1951. Thursday evening, 7:30 p.m. The Golden Pheasant restaurant gleams under amber streetlights like a jewel. Crystal chandeliers cast warm light through tall windows. White linen tablecloths, silver cutlery catching candlelight. The kind of establishment where a meal costs what most people make in a week, where your skin color determines your worth before you speak your first word. Sugar Ray Robinson adjusts his perfectly tailored charcoal suit, gold watch catching light, patent leather shoes, polished mirror bright. 30 years old, 5'11", 54 pounds of pure athletic perfection, 6-time world champion, the man who redefined boxing. But tonight, none of that matters. Tonight, he's just another black man in Jim Crow America. Inside his mind, Robinson calculates angles. It's what champions do: assess threats, identify weaknesses, plan responses. He's faced hostile crowds in boxing rings from coast to coast, survived poverty, racism, and opponents trying to take his head off. But this is different. This is about dignity. The hostess freezes when he enters. Young blonde, recruited specifically for her looks and ability to maintain the establishment standards. Her smile vanishes like smoke. She glances toward the back office where the manager sits reviewing reservation lists. Her training kicks in. Be polite. Be firm. Maintain the policy. Sir, she whispers, I'm afraid there might be some confusion about your reservation. Robinson doesn't have a reservation. He's eaten at restaurants like this in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, places where his name opens doors, where maitre d's scramble to accommodate the famous Sugar Ray Robinson. But Detroit isn't New York, and fame doesn't change skin color. No confusion, Robinson says calmly. Table for one, please. Picture the pressure he feels. Every eye in that dining room watching, conversations slowing, whispers starting. The well-dressed black man at the hostess stand, becoming the evening's entertainment. Can you feel the weight of their stares? The hostess shifts uncomfortably. The restaurant isn't full. 12 tables occupied out of 30. Empty spots everywhere. But policy is policy. Management is clear. No exceptions. From across the dining room, voices float. Who does he think he is? Somebody should do something. This is exactly what's wrong with these people. Robinson hears every word, processes every insult, but his face remains calm. In his mind, he's already 3 moves ahead, already planning his response. Champions don't react. They respond. But what kind of response can change a system built on hatred? The hostess excuses herself, walks quickly toward the back office. Robinson waits, patient. He's faced hostile crowds before, understands pressure, understands the mathematics of confrontation. But he also understands something else. Sometimes the most powerful punch isn't thrown with your fist. The manager emerges. Harold Kramer, 45, thick around the middle, thinning hair slicked back with pomade. 20 years in restaurant management, 15 years maintaining the Golden Pheasant's reputation as Detroit's premier dining establishment for the right kind of people. Inside Kramer's mind, this is routine. He's handled situations like this before, knows exactly how to maintain policy while avoiding scenes. Black people come in sometimes. You politely refuse service. They usually leave quietly. Sometimes they argue briefly, but they always leave eventually. He doesn't know he's about to face Sugar Ray Robinson. Kramer approaches with practiced authority. Shoulders back, chin up, the walk of a man accustomed to difficult conversations. His confidence comes from years of unchallenged authority, from a system that supports his decisions, from never having to justify his actions to anyone who matters. Good evening, Kramer says, voice carrying just enough volume for nearby tables to hear. I'm Harold Kramer, the manager. I understand there's been some confusion about seating. No confusion, Robinson repeats. I'd like dinner. Table for one. Kramer's smile is professional. Empty. Sir, I appreciate your interest in dining with us, but I'm afraid we don't serve your kind here. This is a private establishment with certain standards to maintain. The words hang in the air like smoke. We don't serve your kind. The phrase delivered with casual precision. Like Kramer has said it hundreds of times before. Like it's as natural as breathing. But what Kramer doesn't realize is that he just challenged the wrong man. The dining room goes quiet. Forks pause halfway to mouths. Conversations stop mid-sentence. Everyone listening. Everyone watching. The evening's drama unfolding exactly as expected. Robinson doesn't react. Not visibly. His expression remains neutral, professional. But something shifts behind his eyes. Something cold and calculating. The look he gets before stepping into the ring, against opponents who underestimate him. Inside his mind, Robinson is already working, not planning violence, planning something more devastating, something that will expose Kramer in front of 30 witnesses, something that will force this man to confront what he really believes. Strange how the evening light changes everything, he thought, watching shadows stretch across the empty street. His head felt clearer now, though that familiar doubt lingered at the edges. Perhaps it was just fatigue, or perhaps, but no, better not to pursue that line of thinking. The question catches Kramer off guard. He expected anger, expected shouting, or pleading, or quick departure. He didn't expect questions, didn't expect this calm, measured response from someone who should know his place. Think about what Robinson is doing here. He's not attacking the policy. He's attacking the logic behind the policy, making Kramer explain himself, defend the indefensible. Well, Kramer starts, confidence wavering. We cater to a specific clientele, people who expect certain assurances about the dining environment. I'm sure you understand. Robinson takes one step closer, not threatening, just closing distance. Mr. Kramer, do you know who I am? It doesn't matter who. Sugar Ray Robinson. The name drops like a stone. 6-time world champion. The pound-for-pound greatest boxer alive. I've fought in front of 80,000 people in Yankee Stadium. I've dined with celebrities and politicians and business leaders across this country. Can you imagine the shock rippling through that dining room? The recognition dawning. Several diners recognize the name. Whispers start again. That's Sugar Ray Robinson. The boxer? I saw him fight last year on television. But Kramer doesn't back down. Policy is policy. Fame doesn't change skin color. Sir, I don't care if you're Joe Louis himself. We have rules here, standards, and I won't change them for anybody. This is the moment everything changes. The moment Robinson springs his trap. Robinson nods slowly. Rules. I understand rules, Mr. Kramer. I've built my entire career following rules. Boxing rules, training rules, rules about dedication and discipline and respect. He pauses. But I'm curious about your rules. Are they written down somewhere, posted, or do they just exist in your head? The question strips away Kramer's comfortable euphemisms, forces him to confront what he's really doing. The policy isn't official. Can't be official. It's 1951, not 1851, but it's understood, accepted, the way things work. It's an understanding about the kind of establishment we maintain. Understanding. Robinson repeats the word like he's examining it. So your rule is that you don't serve black people. Is that correct? Picture Kramer's growing panic. The directness forces him to own his euphemisms. He can't hide behind words like standards, and clientele, and understanding. He has to confront what he's actually doing. We serve the kind of people who belong here, Kramer says, voice getting louder, more defensive. And black people don't belong. That's exactly how you put it. Robinson's voice remains calm, but carries further now. The entire restaurant listening. You said you don't serve my kind. You said I don't belong. Because I'm black. Is that your position, Mr. Kramer? Sweat beads on Kramer's forehead. This isn't going according to script. Usually people leave. Sometimes they argue briefly, but they leave. They don't ask questions, don't force confrontations, don't make him state policies explicitly in front of witnesses. But Robinson isn't finished. He's just getting started. Look, Kramer tries to regain control. I don't make the rules, I just follow them. This is how restaurants like ours operate. People expect certain things. I can't change that. You can't change it, Robinson says, or you won't change it? Silence. Complete silence. Every person in the restaurant holds their breath, waiting for Kramer's answer, watching a system of hatred forced to defend itself in public. Then Robinson does something that changes everything. Something that turns the entire confrontation on its head. Something that exposes the absurdity of racism more clearly than any speech could. He reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out his wallet. Expensive leather. Gold corners. Opens it slowly, deliberately. Mr. Kramer, what's your most expensive meal? Kramer blinks, confused. I'm sorry? Your most expensive dish. What does it cost? The lobster thermidor is $22. $22. Robinson pulls out a $50 bill, holds it up so everyone can see. I'd like to buy dinner for that table. He points to a middle-aged white couple in the corner. The lobster thermidor for both of them. And a bottle of your best champagne. The couple looks confused. Kramer looks baffled. The entire restaurant watches in fascination. And that table. Robinson points to a family of 4. Whatever they want. My treat. What is he doing? What's his strategy? How can offering to pay for other people's meals defeat segregation? And that table. And that one. Robinson is pointing to every occupied table in the restaurant. I'd like to buy dinner for everyone here tonight. Everything they want. The best you have. He pulls out more bills, hundreds of dollars, more money than most people see in months. Feel the power of what's happening. A black man refused service because of his race, offering to pay for everyone else's meal, exposing the contradiction at the heart of segregation. I can afford it, Mr. Kramer. I make more in one fight than most people make in years. Money isn't the issue, and taste isn't the issue. I've eaten at the finest restaurants in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, places that make this look like a diner. The restaurant is mesmerized. No one has ever seen anything like this. The only issue, Robinson continues, is that you think the color of my skin makes me unworthy to sit at one of these tables. So let me ask you something. If I can afford to buy dinner for everyone in your restaurant, if I can pay for their meals with cash, right now, what exactly makes me different from them? This is the moment. The question that strips away every euphemism, every comfortable lie, every justification Kramer has ever used. Kramer has no answer. The question exposes the fundamental absurdity of his position. If it's not about money, class, education, or behavior, what exactly is it about? Robinson puts the money back in his wallet. You see, Mr. Kramer, your rule isn't about money. It's not about class or education or behavior. It's about one thing, the thing you don't want to say out loud. He looks around the dining room. Every eye on him, every person listening to every word. Your rule is that black people are inferior, that we're less human than white people. That's the understanding you're maintaining. That's the standard you're upholding. The words cut through the restaurant like a blade. No one moves. No one speaks. The truth hangs in the air, unavoidable. But Robinson isn't finished. He's about to deliver the final blow. So let me ask you directly, in front of all these people, do you believe black people are inferior to white people? Imagine Kramer's terror. He can't say yes, not out loud, not in 1951, not in front of 30 witnesses, but he can't say no either, because saying no would mean his policy makes no sense. Robinson waits, patient. He's won 6 world championships by understanding exactly when to apply pressure, when to strike, when to wait for his opponent to break. Kramer starts, then stops, tries again. It's not about I don't. You don't what, Mr. Kramer? I don't think people are. He can't finish the sentence, can't say the words that would justify his actions, can't admit what he believes, can't defend what he's doing. Robinson nods slowly. You can't say it, can you? You can't admit what your policy really means, because deep down you know it's wrong. He buttons his jacket, adjusts his gold watch, prepares to deliver the knockout punch. Here's what's going to happen, Mr. Kramer. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to cause a scene. I'm not going to break anything or threaten anyone. I'm going to walk out that door with my dignity intact. He turns toward the dining room, speaks loud enough for everyone to hear. But everyone in this room just learned something important. They learned that your policy isn't based on standards or class or behavior. It's based on a belief that black people don't deserve the same treatment as white people. And they watched you refuse to defend that belief when challenged directly. Feel the power of what just happened. Robinson didn't win through violence or anger. He won through intelligence, through questions that forced a racist to confront his own beliefs publicly. He starts walking toward the door, then stops, turns back, prepares to deliver the final blow. Oh, and Mr. Kramer, my manager will be calling the newspapers tomorrow. The Detroit Free Press, the Michigan Chronicle, the Amsterdam News. They'll be very interested to hear about the Golden Pheasants' policy of refusing service to world champions, based solely on race. Kramer's face goes white. Now wait just a... You see, I may not be able to eat in your restaurant, but I can definitely afford better lawyers than you can. And while discrimination might be accepted, it's not actually legal, especially when it's this blatant. Robinson reaches the door,